y'all today. It is Saturday. I am open here. Just went ahead and opened up. So let's see how much we can actually get accomplished. But today, what we're going to go ahead and focus on is this Maria mango. All right. All of the fruit went ahead and fell off, which that's all right. Young tree. I get it. This is the second in command over here, but I'm going to do something drastic here. So hang on. It is time to go ahead and grab some scions from here because I got to make more. Hang on here. Let me get this situated here. So what are we going to do? I'm going to make some tough cuts here, folks. Little cringe, but I know a lot of y'all wouldn't be cutting a tree like this, but I need to make more, and I'd rather shape this to where it grows a little bushier. Yeah, fake mangoes coming off. All right. I'd rather go ahead and get some more scions off of here and graft them. So that's exactly what we're doing today. That's the main goal today, is to make some more Marias. We gotta get this mango on the map, folks. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Beautiful little seedling, growing together nursery, the home of the Maria mango. Now, what's it like? I hear a lot of people talking about it, and you know, or just me, right? But big coconut flavor. And to my recollection, it is citrus flavored. I think it's citrus and coconut, maybe peach and coconut. It's been 4 years, y'all, since I had this one, but she just got a nice little haircut here. All three branches got cut back, so more flush on the way, but we got some good scions here. Got some root stocks I went ahead and chose out. So let's do this thing. Hopefully y'all are good. Y'all can hear me. Let's see how much we can actually get done here before we get a customer. So hopefully we can get a few grafts in. If not, it'll be a short video. It is what it is. We're going with the moment, folks. No editing, no nothing. That's why we just do this live. It's a lot easier, a lot less stress or mess. So, all right. Beautiful, messy cockpit over here. We'll just throw those down. First and foremost, what do we have to do? Well, we have to. Let's do this. This may make it easier for you. Give me a sec, folks. Hang on here. Let me bring this guy up. Adjust this little tripod. Let me see if we can't get you guys a better angle here. So first and foremost, we got to wrap these guys in some buddy tape. Now, these are pretty decent sized scions. Not my norm, but she's a thick one. So we're going to see what we can do. First, start off by trimming off all of the leaves on here. And you want to make sure not to leave any sharp edges, or else the buddy tape will actually burst through. So just slammed a bunch of coffee. So if I'm a little shaky, it's what it is, y'all. I drink lots of coffee. Unfortunately, that's bad for you. I know. That's my thing. And I'm working on it, folks. We're not perfect here. So trim off all of the little buds that are sticking out where the tape can catch. And I only want that piece right there, top 3-4 inches. I don't like to make them too long. So I'll even take that off there. And we'll wrap that in just a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and prep these first. Use as much as possible. Could I wipe them down with some peroxide to get some of this black sooty mold off? Sure, but we're going to roll with it. I don't think it's that big of a deal here. Now, if they don't take, I'll blame it on that, and that'll be my story. Kidding. But sometimes they take, sometimes they don't. I'll say for Maria, it does take off. Most of my grafts have been successful. Grafts pretty easily. And these are already pushing some new growth. Some little buds coming out, which is exactly what you want to see. Can we do it, folks? Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, there's a little bit of bud pushing out there. So it's a good timing for it. But hopefully you guys are good. Hopefully you guys got some rain. We got a bunch of it last night. So everything is looking green. And that's why it gives me the time to be able to do this now. Otherwise, I'd be watering right now. So cut off all of those sharp edges on there. Happy Mother's Day weekend to all the mothers out there. So there's number 4. This one, a little thick. I can't do much with it. I'm not going to do a whole lot. I mean, I could, just for S and giggles, try it out. Don't know. Let me see how much time we have here. I got some of those turpentines that could be grafted as well, but we're going to focus on these easier scions first. I do want to go ahead and get this cultivar out on the streets. We need people eating, growing, giving their 2 cents on this mango, but it takes time, y'all. This mango has been with me for all of 10 years now. How's the original tree? Amazing. All right. I don't have contact with the homeowner or the new renter, if you will. And I've made multiple attempts to go ahead and try to talk to him and let him know, hey, I mean no harm. I'm just here to go ahead and, I just want to do a quick video about the tree, but to no avail. But it's all good, folks. This is why we graft. Actually, out of the when we moved here, I already had the Maria grafted over here. So it was very cool that I went ahead and grafted it whenever I did, or else I would have never had the cultivar. Not a thief. I wouldn't steal it. And don't go over there bothering him. I know some of y'all know where it's at, but don't bother the dude. He doesn't want any contact with people. And I get it. Listen, once you leave a place, it's no longer yours. Whatever you planted, whatever you left there is somebody else's now. So I get it. But leave him alone, y'all. All right, just trimming off all of those sharp edges, making it nice and neat. All right, so nothing catches, nothing will break on there. The leaves, what do they smell like? Ooh, has like a turpentine type of smell, pretty strong. You don't get the coconut tones. You don't get the coconut, sorry, I'm just peeking to see if anybody's here. You don't get the coconut tones or nothing like that. But she's money. You know that she smells nice, and can't wait. Hopefully we can get one to hold, at least 2, because the first one has to go be donated to the Lord. But hopefully we can get at least 2 to go ahead and produce for us so we can show y'all. Get a video, get a little review, and to see if it's exactly how I remembered it. Patience, 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 folks. I know some of y'all are like, dude, you're going to wait all this time and then that first fruit you donate? Yes, we do. That's how we do it here at GTN. So cleared it up nice and neat, and that's super long, so I'll just cut that off short. So we got about 6 of them here. I think I brought 5 rootstocks. So yeah, I brought 5, and we'll have to adjust. But let's go ahead and wrap these bad boys up with some buddy tape here. This stuff is amazing stuff. Not cheap, y'all. Not cheap, but definitely worth its weight in gold. So what I'll do is start from the bottom of the cut, and you work your way up. Okay, so that way when the water drips down, everything is covered in there. And you don't need a ton on here, but make sure that you stretch it as you go ahead and you wrap it. This stuff does better once it's stretched. And you don't want to stretch it too thin on there, or else it will break on those cuts that I made. So just wrap it nice and thick on there. Oh, hopefully y'all can see that. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your time. Time is money, folks. When will these be ready? Probably next year. And I don't want to wrap the top with too much tape on there, so I just kind of give it a little bit of, see that right there. All right, so that's plenty there. 5 more to go. Hang with me, folks. What are y'all doing for your mothers? And hopefully you're buying them a tree instead of cut flowers, right? Yay. And I don't care if you go to somewhere else, by all means. Go to your local nursery and support them and help out your mom. Give her something that you normally don't give her. What do you normally give her, right? Besides headaches. But, all right. There's number 2. Nice and wrapped. Whatever y'all do, be safe out there. It is going to be a wet weekend here in Central Florida, which is always a blessing, because without the rain, these trees will grow and they'll be fine. But man, nothing makes them pop like the rain does. What's up? What's up? Where are you guys watching from? In the States? Another country? Another world? Where you at? Have you grafted before? Let me know. Anyways, so there's another one there. And I don't wrap the top. Again, I don't put too much on the top. You will get some buds off the sides, but the top I try to go ahead and leave with as little as possible. I don't like putting too much on there. And this is the non-perforated tape, so I like it better because you get control of when you actually cut it versus having to cut on that line. But stretch and pull, twist. Many different ways to do this, but this is how I learned, so I'm showing y'all. See, that one poked out just a little bit there. Don't like that. So I'm going to put another little piece just to go ahead and cover that. I could have cut it back, but it's all right. A little bit goes a long way. All right. America, huh? That's what's up. Florida's doing some big things over here, y'all. Our governor is on a rampage. He's trying to clean this place up, supposedly. Guess we're trying to make America healthy again. I don't know how long this is going to last, but supposedly he's already banning geoengineering and also fluoride in the water. So that's exciting news for us. I don't want any of that junk in our water. And by all means, you can go to the dentist and go get your own fluoride. But the dentist, they say that the fluoride is good for cavities. Yes, yes. They also stated back in the day that smoking was recommended by your dentist. Go check out those commercials back in the day. They are bought and paid for. Whoever pays them, they will go ahead and tell them what they want to hear. So you guys do whatever you guys got to do. But as for me, we try to keep it as natural as possible over here. Yeah, let's make this place healthier again. How does that start? Well, eating less processed foods, eating the foods that come from the garden, eating what is God-made versus man-made. Sounds simple, but that means more cooking, more prep time, meal time, the whole deal. So if you have the time, by all means, health is wealth. Pay now or pay later. You can work your whole life, stack up those millions, and then you just go ahead and you pass it off over to your doctors. Yay, make them fat and rich. Not I. I will try to do it on my own. Just me, not you, just saying. That's what I do. And again, did I clean these and scrub them all off and use antibacterial and this? No, it's fine. If it was really bad, I'd probably clean them up, but this isn't too bad here. All right, top on this one, and this one is the last one here. And we'll get to grafting. Just a little bit on the top there, make sure everything's nice and covered. Make sure there's nothing peeking out there. All right, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's a shaky. Caffeine, gotta love it. But I don't function without it. All right, disinfection time. Let's disinfect. This is a big deal here. It's what I constantly do. Little grafting blade, a little alcohol. You can also use peroxide if you want, but I disinfect the grafting blade first. Oop, don't cut yourself. Grafting blade first, and then my pruners. Let this air dry for a few seconds. Trusty little pruners. These things will outlast me. I have the new style. I forget the number of the model. I'm not a fan of those. They seem like scissors, like little shears, if you will. But these are man pruners right here. Heavy, easily sharpened. I just sit there and take a little file to it. But this will last forever here. Not sponsored. You do your own thing, but y'all are watching. Y'all want to send me another pair, by all means, come on. All right. So first things first, First rootstock. Okay, this one, try to grab some unknowns. This is actually a VP. So I want to put her on different types of rootstocks as well to see how she does. First one we'll do is a little veneer graft on here. We'll cut this back a little bit. I always like to cut the rootstock first, just so I can see where I got to go ahead and adjust. And it's got a little bit of a twist on here, but I'll go on the inside here. Let me see if I can't get you guys a little bit closer in here. I like veneers the most just because you get a lot of strength from the seedling still. You get all the leaves that stay on there, and to me, it gives it that extra push. So now, you want to do this with as little cuts as possible. And when you cut, when you graft anyways. Now, if you're whittling a stick, if you're sharpening a spear and you're going after animals, you cut away. If you're grafting, you cut towards you. I know it sounds crazy, but you're going to cut yourself. You get used to it. You can practice your skills. All right. But you cut towards you. All right. Now, that's just what the master grafters will do. All right. That's how I learned. Therefore, that's how I teach. But you do whatever feels comfortable for you. Just don't cut yourself. So I'll knock off, see what I just did there? Little piece there. Flip off the bottom. And you want this as sharp as possible. You want this to be as sharp as you can possibly get it down below. It's not sharp enough, so I'll just take this blade and do one more work on this backside here. Ideally, you're not going to slam a bunch of coffee before grafting because you get the shakes. Oh no. But that's what we do here. A little bit better. See that? Sharp. So longer cut on one side, smaller cut on the back. And I'll show you the rootstock too. And then we'll get going. So this one here, I just made a little flap on there. Right there, I cut down. So the cut actually comes down to there. So then that back flap is that short side of the on here. So then we slip it in there to make sure that it looks okay, nice and tight. You want to match up the cambium layers. And the veneer makes it easier. So if you have a different diameter scion versus rootstock, you can line up just the one side that you need, and you'll be fine. Oh, you got a leaf in the way. That's with no tape. So you want it nice and tight on there, no light going through. So now we'll just snug that up, rip off a little piece of this buddy tape. Start from the bottom. Uh-oh, can you see that? No. Hang on, folks. We'll zoom you in here in just a second. But I'm just wrapping the bottom, making it nice and tight. We can't see it. I know. Hang on here. Only problem with veneers is watering these guys. For girls, depends on who you ask, is because now the water, as you water from the top, which is what we do, what I do here, water from the top, the water will go in between, oh, there's a leaf in the way, in between the scion and that rootstock, which kills that graft. Once you get water in there, game is over, folks. So hang on here. Let me see if I can. We'll get you down like that. So what do you do for that? Take another little piece like this, fold it down the middle, and I put it in between the scion and the rootstock. Pull it back without messing with too much. Can you see that? No. All right, let's see if we can't. There's a lot of leaves in the way too. Here, let's trim these leaves back. Although I wouldn't mind the shade on that, but it's all right. Take my word on it. I'm doing this, all right? So I pull one side over, open up the tape, and I wrap somewhat tight on there. Take the other side, open this bad boy up. That way you create more of a watertight connection in here, because the water is going to find a way to drip down. Oh, I just ripped it. The water is going to find a way to get into that cut if you allow it to. Let me do one more piece in there because that one broke. Hopefully y'all can hear me. One more piece in there. We'll open this side up. That way I can water from the top and I won't have to worry too much. Clefts are better for that reason. You don't have to worry about it. But to me, clefts take a little bit longer. Damn it, I ripped that one too. Sorry. This is the other side, so it's not so bad. 2 pieces on there. We'll get it to work. So that's that. Let me show you what we're working with. See that? Wrap that inside in there. Still not super tight. So what I can do is, oh man, I don't have any of my marking tape. I'm gonna have to use some of this then. Wait. Aha, eureka. So little marking tape. You can use a rubber band, you can use whatever you want. It's just something to keep it snug. And you don't want to super squeeze it on there, but you want to make it to where it's pretty tight. I'll do 2 little pieces on here. You don't have to make it to where you're cutting off the circulation of it, but just to keep contact on there in case an animal hits it or a dog or anything, right? I'm gonna do another little piece on the bottom just to keep that snug. Again, you don't have to do this part, but I like to go ahead and do this. Totally optional. Do you. And practice. What works for you today maybe change, right? My technique has changed. You see sometimes zip tie, sometimes you'll see twine or whatever. So that's that. That's the first one. Also, it is important to write down the date. Well, if you want to, the date that you did it. That way you know. What's today, folks? Hang on here. The 10th. It is the 10th. This year is going by fast, folks. So just put down Maria and the date on there. That way you know. Label, label, label. You will forget this stuff. You think that you'll remember until they all start looking alike, and then it's an issue. So another rootstock here, not super green. It's got some little brown spots in the trunk there, but I think she'll work. And we're gonna do, let's do a cleft on this one, just to switch it up. Anywhere, probably about 4 or 5 inches on the top there. And for this one, I don't go down the middle. I try to pick a side. Go down about 1.5 inches-ish. Not quite center, just a little off. Why do we do that? I don't know. It's just what they tell you. And you find one that's something similar. There's a decent one. Yeah, that'll work. Cut down here, get rid of this. That's what we're left with. Hopefully this is a better angle for y'all. Now this one we have to cut both sides to make a nice little wedge in there. Again, littlest cuts as possible. Did I disinfect? No. I should have, but it's all right. Hopefully y'all can see that. Not too bad here. Cut that little piece there. Make sure that your grafting knife is sharp, folks, because you'll come out here and chunk your scions or your rootstock, and that's not what you want. So that should be all right, folks. Let me see if I can get you guys to see that. pretty sharp. Doesn't have to be the greatest. Lift up some of this buddy tape so it doesn't get in between. And if you notice that your cut in the scion isn't deep enough, you get that little piece right there, and go into it a little bit deeper just so it makes a better fit. But just be careful not to get too deep into it. Just wiggle the blade another 1/4 of an inch. You just want to cover up that right there. Yep. Actually, I don't like that. Let me spin this bad boy around. You want to try to make it as straight as possible. That way you're not having the new growth come out and kick off to one side or the other. Line them up to the best of your ability. Give them a little squeeze test to make sure no air is going through. Hopefully y'all are having a good morning. We're going to make sure this one's nice and tight. I always wrap up the scions prior to grafting, because trying to wrap this now is a pain. If you were to try to wrap this now, you're going to jostle the graft union down here, and it's just going to move it out of place. So it's not what you want. Make sure that it's in the right place there before you go ahead and cinch it down really good. Take another piece of this marking tape. Put a little pressure on there, not too much, y'all. And I have choked these out. I've noticed that this tape, because it doesn't stretch like a rubber band, if you don't take this off, it'll just girdle the graft and the whole top of it will die off. So be careful. You have to watch these. It's not just a do the graft and walk away. That's kind of my biggest qualm about doing grafts for people, is that I have done them, and there is the other side of grafting, which is, all right, you do the graft, but now you got to watch it, right? Now there is work to do. So if you see that there's growth coming over here down below, you got to go ahead and knock that off. If it's out in full sun and the foil comes off, you got to go ahead and replace it. There is instructions whenever I go ahead and graft for people in order for it to become successful, right? So it is one of those things that right now I'm not grafting a ton for people because I can do the job for you. And once I leave, though, it is up to you to go ahead and, let's label it. It's up to you to go ahead and, here's what this rootstock was Karen Michelle. It's taking care of it is a whole nother deal. It's not hard. You just got to give it some shade and make sure that the growth doesn't come from down below. There's two. Here's a thicker one, thicker rootstock, and this one is a Venus. I label all of my seeds that I put down. This was one that I ate last year, but now we get to turn it into something else. So all of my seedlings, we'll go veneer on this because it is a little bit thicker. Wiggle the blade a little bit. And you don't want to go into that rootstock too deep. Beveled blade is super important when you're grafting. That way you're not digging into the actual wood. Beveled blade is only sharpened on one side. So this one I got off of Amazon. You can look it up by looking at a florist or grafting blade. Cheap. I think this is like 20 bucks. But last you a few years. There's the cut that I made on there. That little flap. And we'll go ahead and match this up. I got a nice thick one here. That could work. Do I offer grafting classes and such? No, not yet. Kind of how we do it here is to show you unalive for now. Maybe down the road we could do like grafting courses and the whole deal, but You got to have a nice setup for that. Not yet, folks. We're not there yet. Okay. A little bit more. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you do make a mistake, ways to fix it. If I had to take more off, then I would. That's that. See that? About an inch there and about 2 there-ish. Give or take. You know what I mean? I'm not out here measuring. Then we'll slip it in there and give it a shot. See how she fits. A little bit of air and light coming through. A little bit right there, that little pinch right there. So what I'll have to do is take a little bit off this rootstock because I dug in too deep. I got to flatten this out by just shaving off the top so it doesn't indent into that cut. That little bit of air will stop you from making a good connection on there. Just shave off a little bit of the top to where it kind of slopes down into the cut. Don't dig into it more because then it's going to have more issues down the road. And give it a good squeeze, no air. I like that much better. Line up one side. I always do the left side, maybe because I'm left eye dominant, but whatever you prefer, whatever works for you. Will you be successful the first time you graft? More than likely not. It took me maybe 30, 40 tries before I finally was successful. Just watching YouTube videos, finding out the wrong ways to do it, because back then, there was only so many videos that actually showed you the truth. There was a lot of misinformation, a lot of editing, a lot of these videos from overseas that they would show you a quick cut and then show you the end result. And you're like, ah. So trial and error, my friends. That's how I learned. And that's how you should learn. Try it out, make some mistakes, do it again. Start off with something that doesn't mean much, right? Graft like hibiscus, graft anything. Something that citrus, it's pretty easy. Oh, besides the thorns, which I don't like grafting it. But start off with something somewhat easy, something that you don't care about, that doesn't cost a lot. Mess it up. See if you can't graft it. You got to practice, folks. In order to be better, you got to make those mistakes. Do I still make them? Sure. I am not a professional. I'm just a dude in his backyard selling fruit trees and trying to show y'all what it is that I'm doing here. So again, down the middle, hopefully y'all can see that. Waterproof in the middle there. And I hold one side, that way I don't pull it all the way through whenever I open up one side. And you just pull the flaps on each side and stretch it. Crucial for veneer grafting. You don't do this, chances of success are way lower. And that one didn't break good. Oh. See? Something like that. So now I can water from the top and the water is not going to get inside. Although, right in there, this little flap, that water, that edge right there can let some water in. So just squeeze it on there, make sure that it's not going to allow that. And we'll tighten it up. And just do another 2 pieces on here. I used to do one long piece and then just wrap the whole thing, but I think it adds too much pressure on there and it doesn't allow it to expand once it's necessary. Sun is coming out, but it is muggy out here, folks. Because of last night's rain, you can definitely feel it. It's thick. So not too tight. Give it a couple of loops. Get a little tie off there. That should do it. Cut off the extra to make it look nice and neat. Looks better for the magazine. So something like that. Couple minutes. Once you learn the technique, it doesn't take too long. But when you first start off, it may take you a couple tries to get it perfect. But you got to practice, folks. If you don't, you'll have someone else doing this and they'll be charging you who knows how much for. This one had a couple of little baby sprouts coming off the bottom, so I'm just cutting those off. Cut off this leaf there. And what do you think? Can we do another? Let's just do another veneer. It's all right. First and foremost, let's disinfect this guy here. I just use the other side of the cotton ball. This side's dirty as all, but this side is still all right. So just a quick little wipe on here. Get some of this sap off. All right, air dry that for a second. This one is Valkyrie seedling. What's nice is you can almost put this blade flat to the rootstock as you're making that cut. So it just glides down the edge there. Something like that. A little flat. Okay. Same thing with this one. Oh, I heard some dogs, but that's not for me. And trust me, I can make way more if I had my bud grafting skills down. I still have not gotten those to take off. Still making mistakes, which that's what happens, right? We're learning. But I still haven't done that yet. I haven't had a successful bud graft. Or else I'd be making way more than what I'm making here. I got to practice that. One more. That's pretty sharp there. Make it nice and flat on the end. Let me show you what we're working with here. Oop. And then see this buddy tape? I peel this back here. You don't want that edge to go ahead and get in the way of that contact. Make sure that peels back. And then we'll see if this fits. Like a glove. See that? Nice and tight. No air, no light. That's what we want. So line up the left side again. Again, pull this buddy tape tight as you stretch it around here. Is all parafilm created equal? No. I have gone out there and purchased as a regular parafilm because that's what I was told was, you know, buddy tape was parafilm. And you're like, all right. So you go out there and you buy it and it's a surgical stuff and it doesn't pull and work with, it's not the same tape. Can't pull it as tight. It doesn't maneuver with you. Now, is it possible? I'm sure, but I gave up on that a long time ago. It's thicker tape too. So back in here, once again, to waterproof it, I pull more than 50% through, like a 75-25. That way I have plenty of room on this back side here. Pull it apart and wrap around. We can't see that. I'm sorry, folks. Just take my word on it. Just like that. Again, waterproofing. That way nothing goes in there. Oh, and I'll show you one step that I forgot on these veneers. Show you right now once I'm done with this one. This one's a longer piece, so what I'll do is just come up over the top and we'll just snug it all together with one piece here. And that should be fine. Sometimes less is best. You don't have to choke it. Just the buddy tape alone sometimes will do it, but little insurance won't hurt. And here's what I was forgetting to do for these veneers. Very important. It's cutting off that new growth tip. That way you can spark the tree to go ahead and start shooting off some more growth here. So really quick, hang on here. Oh, we got a leaner. Ground's not even. Nothing is flat here, folks. This whole property is on a hill, which makes it a little bit tough, but it's all right. So what I'll do here is come over here and clip the tops on these guys. Doesn't matter where, just as long as you clip the top, right? So, all right, onwards. Get you down over here. Hopefully it's a good angle. But so now we got this one here. Who is she? Let's see. Another Valkyrie seedling. All right. So who's coming with me? Let's see what we got. This one, let's do another cleft on here. It seems pretty thin. Get rid of that. And same thing. Off center just a hair. Wiggle the blade so you don't go too deep in there. Sharper the blade, the faster she drops in there. This one's going to be about 1.5 inches. And trying to find the thickest one out of these three here. Very close, but I think this one may do it. Clip that off. And then find out how you want to shape it, where it needs to go. Y'all stay tuned. Maria Mango is coming for you, man. It's going to be out in the market shortly, folks. Hang in there. We're working on her. Almost. Something like that. Pretty sharp. Both sides. Pretty equal. And then put her in and see how she feels. A little deep. I went too deep on the cut, so what I'll do is I'll take a 1/4 inch off the top. You don't want it to sit up too high on there. But you want it to be snug. And you push down and have all of those cuts to go ahead and line up. Something like that. No air. That side, see how it's off? It's all right. You only need one side. Okay. Just that little bit on there should do it. You just want one side of those cambium layers to line up. Mosquitoes are out. Yay. So early. Lucky me. What do you do for them? I did mosquito dunks last year, which I will be doing again this year. I did vanilla spray, vanilla extract with water. Also tried lemongrass with water. But now I just wear long sleeves and pants and we deal with them. The neck fan helps a lot too. Keep them away from your face. Keeps all the no-see-ums and mosquitoes away from you. So this one, a lot easier to wrap. Pretty self-explanatory. We'll do a nice little, of course I dropped that. All right, hang on folks. We got tight quarters over here. Is it a mess? Yes, but you go to a nursery and everything looks perfect, run. There's no weeds in the pot and everything looks immaculate. It's too good to be true, right? Sometimes it is. We'll cut those off. We'll just do one piece on there just to keep it snug. That's it. Oh, label, label, label. Which I think I didn't label that last one talking to y'all. You blaming it on us? No, it's my fault. I'm just kidding. Make sure that they're all labeled. I am missing one. Yeah, this one here didn't get labeled. So I am missing one. Let's see if we can go and grab one more before anyone gets here. I got two more scions here. So two more rootstocks. Hang with me. Let's go. Let's go pick two out. Kiwi's out and about. Cone's still working until next Thursday, unfortunately. But she's all right. Still digging holes, getting dirty. We'll get her little kiddie pool next week. She can swim a little bit. She's out moving around, chasing squirrels, knocking mangoes down, having fun. Mulch feels great because it's all wet, so it's like a mattress underneath your feet. It's quite nice. Dude, only one pomelo. What'd you say? Burn wood. For what? One pomelo left. The other one fell off over here, so one pink pomelo is all we're working with. All right, let's pick out a nice little scion over here, or rootstock. See what we got. Mr. Cropper, what's up, sir? So we need two that I don't really want. Here's another Karen Michelle with a nice little stock on there. Could do that. Looking for like some greener trunks. Some of these already have like that brown striations in there. I've gotten those to work in the past, but if I can, I would like to keep it green on green. But again, have I done it? Have I broke the rules? Yes, I've gotten away with it, but it doesn't mean that it's always good. Here's another one. Green. So a little bit of a dwarfer rootstock, which is cool. So we got two. Let's roll. Oh, hang on here, folks. Let me tilt this bad boy up. So we got two more rootstocks. See what we can do. See if we can't get these done before someone shows up. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. What's fruiting or flowering at y'all spots? Y'all getting growing or what? Are y'all still on the bench? So, domas. Two more, that's what that means, folks, all right? We'll translate. We're not gonna be talking Spanish and you don't tell us what you're saying. I know, man, I will translate. I'll relax. We're here for the people, man. Some beautiful Blue Springs H2O, straight from the ground. No junk, supposedly, right? No added junk. But I do filter that, so. Anyways, two left. Let's do this. So, I like the veneer, so let's keep going with that. Give it a little bit of a wiggle without cutting through. Will you do it? Yes, you will. You'll cut all the way through and start over. That's fine. All right. Can you see me? All right. Buddy tape's in the way, but just peel it back like that. Get it out of the way there. Again, cut towards you. I know, counterintuitive, and you may cut yourself. You got to practice that. You get better control. Make sure it's flat on both sides. Seems to work. Something like that. And give it a shot. Looks good. Nice and tight. No air. No issues. Hey. Chewing on some Mexican sunflower stems. Yay. I swear I feed this girl and she still chews on everything. So pull and spin. Nice and tight, folks. 1,000 ways to do this. It's just the way that I do it. If it helps you, cool. If not, follow someone else. There's real professionals out there, folks. Find those pros. All right, one around. We'll go down the middle here. Once again, it's the same steps. Once you do it, you just keep doing it. Waterproof it. Same steps. Okay, this side here. Stuff stretches so nice. All right, so nice and waterproof. Make sure everything is looking good. Do another little piece on top here. Zip ties are fun, but you go through a bunch, then you got to cut them off. And if you don't get to them in time, they too will dig into, and it'll girdle your tree as well. So got to go ahead and manage that. Make sure that once that new growth starts coming out, that you take off the zip ties or said wrap, allowing everything to breathe. So that's that. Oh, that's not that. And just cut that. Doesn't matter. Just cut the top somewhere. All right. Uno más, mi gente. One more. Pickering. So what will Maria do on a VP seedling versus the pickering seedling? Right? So pickering should be a smaller tree in theory, right? Let me cut this bad boy off here. And you could, if it's in your way, you could just come over and start cutting now. Doesn't matter. Get rid of some of these bigger leaves that are in the way, blocking your view. And we'll go back in here and do another veneer. Oh, see what I just did? Cut all the way through because it has a little bit of a lean, so I just sliced all the way through. How do we adjust that? How do we fix that? Well, we got options. I can whack it back and just do a cleft on there, or we're going to try to still save this veneer. How do you do that? Let me show you. You got to cut a little wedge in there so that way the scion still holds. So now you're exposing, let me show you. Made another little flap there. Yes, that's still cut, but that's going to be covered by the buddy tape. Will it work? Tune in a few months and find out. It's not too bad there. Minimal cuts, minimal cuts. Can we get it to work, folks? As long as everything is wrapped up really tight, those wounds will heal. Everything will look fine. Mistakes are part of the game, folks. You don't want to make mistakes, stay on the couch. I only like to work on stuff that I'm confident in. Well, you're never going to gain the confidence if you don't get out there and mess them up. You're going to kill rootstocks. You're going to kill grafts. It's part of the process, folks. You got to break a few eggs to make that omelet. No risk, no reward. We'll give it a shot. Does it work? Let's find out. Can't stress the little stuff, though. Accidents happen. And see that? It was on my last one. But again, I could have just went into a cleft in there, cleaned that all up, and got rid of it. But I don't know. We stuck with it. And I'll make a little mark on here to say, hey, check on this one. We'll write down number 6 on here or number 7, whatever it is. That way I know it's my last one. So see, when you wrap it, you're still going to have that open wound in there, but that's fine. It'll heal. It is waterproofed, so it'll be all right. Can't cry over a little spilled milk, folks. A little bit longer than what I needed, but it's all right. Oh, slip through. Pull this back through. Open this bad boy up. Spin it around. Water will find a way in if you allow it. Very tough to control. I worked in the water department for like 4 years. Local water purveyor. I'm not going to tell you where, but I know a little bit about water, folks. Oh, there's an open spot on this Scion that if I left, it would dry out. See that spot right there? Yep, right in there. That's open right there. So if I don't close that, that right there would be the downfall to the whole entire graft. So what I'll do, slide it behind it, and we'll just wrap that. Oh, without moving the Scion, without beating it all up. Oh, it ripped on me. And of course, I'm getting a call. Sorry about that. I just got a call, so I'm sure it dropped the connection. Hopefully, I'm back now. Label the pot. Yeah, man. Working hard every day, bro. If I don't graft and drop more seeds, I don't eat. That's the way she works. Got a call. I have to call them back. Probably looking for something. Had a call yesterday. It's so funny because when you have a nursery, people will call you for every little plant, right? And they assume that you know every little plant. So I got a call yesterday and the lady's like, you have any boxwoods? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't even know what that is. She's like, what? And you call yourself a nurse and you're a nursery? I was like, yeah, but I don't know every single plant. I specialize in edibles. I'm sorry, I don't sit here and do ornamentals. I don't have an interest for them. Like there's plenty of nurseries that will carry them. Big box stores, wherever you got to go find your oaks and all these shrubs and beautiful flowers and bougainvilleas. Yeah, don't come here for any of that stuff. Sorry. I wouldn't even give away bougainvilleas for free, y'all. I can't stand those. I can't stand them. That is like the worst plant ever. And for the people that plant those on the edge of your property line, there's a special place, man. I don't mean it like that, but listen, man, it's the worst plant ever. The thorns are gnarly long. They're sharp. They will pierce right through your shoes, lawnmowers, everything, man. They are a pain. I hate thorns and I hate bougainvilleas for that reason. I don't care how beautiful they are. All right, so there's the last one there. You got a bougainvillea, shame on you. All right, Maria. And we'll put down the last one on there. Little grease pen goes a long way. These help me out so much. So that's this and that's that. There's the grafting for the day. We got 7 accomplished. But we'll go ahead and give them some nice shade, a little bit of H2O, and we'll see how they pop right there. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I think I forgot to label the last one. Let's double check here. Let's go through them real fast. Oh, hang on here. I was showing y'all, y'all weren't even looking. Man, I apologize. I'm a rookie. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Let's see here if you're right. So this one's labeled. Aha, Venus over here. No label. Yep. You're correct. Somebody's paying attention. You get a gold star, sir. Yeah, that one's labeled. You see that? Somebody's watching me. And this one's unlabeled. Yes, 2 unlabeled. Dang it. See that? This is why I need supervisors in my life. No, I don't. That's why I do this. I don't want to have to answer to anybody. No. But thanks for catching that. That would have been hard. I mean, I'm going to put them all together, so I would have known, but still, it would have been a little bit tough as they pop. But labeling is the key, folks. I label all of my seedlings, everything that is grown or grafted or whatnot, because you think you'll remember, but then you won't. Another call. All right, folks, I got to roll. Later, y'all. Gotta go. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Till next time, have a great weekend. Later, y'all.